I am Frau Blucher.
Good evening, and welcome to a Better Late Than Never edition of Thursday Night Stupid O'Clock. I am the co host, Sans only host of Stupid O'Clock this evening, John Scarborough. I just got back from the hotel, the Econo Lodge down in Dalton, where we are setting up the HalloCon Fantasy and Horror Convention. Joe's there, Dan's there, Chris is there, I was there, but I had to come home and, well, somebody had to do a show. Actually, no, I'm just tired and didn't feel like uh, putting stuff together anymore. So anyway, we're down there. We got the grill running. We made hamburgers and hot dogs tonight. We got all the food in there. I went shopping for mixers for the bar and putting up all sorts of decorations and lights and a dance floor, all sorts of cool stuff. And to those of you who are going to be heading down there either tonight or tomorrow, you got a lot to look forward to. And for those of you who are not going down there, you don't know what you're missing. We were arguing. I was actually going to take my computer down to the hotel. Supposedly, they have much better internet now than they did. But I was in a hurry to get down and help there, so I didn't pack up my computer and take it down there with me. And for some reason, Joe doesn't take a computer down there for that sort of thing either. I don't know why. Everybody's down there, they've got their smartphones. So I expect Joe or Chris or Dan or somebody to be in the pop into the show lately in a few minutes. Let me see. I'm surprised Joe Bachman saw that the show was going to be on. As a matter of fact, let me see if he's on here. Yep, Joe's watching the show right now, or he likes the show. And then I think he's actually watching on one of the Stupid O'Clocks. I'm not sure which one. And Joe, if you want to get in here, go ahead. I got a question to ask you. If you can pop in on the show real quick. You see, for those of you who don't know, we have this fantasy and horror convention. It's every year about Halloween time. It's called HalloCon. It's at the Econo Lodge in Dalton, Georgia, just south of Chattanooga, right on I-75. Literally, you can throw egg rolls at the trucks as they drive by. And we're down there, and it's met. Darn it! Dan Hollifield was there with his wife. You see, of course, Chris is there. Joe's there. Darn it! Oh Lord, his name escaped me at the moment. Hang on a second. It's funny. I can remember the name of his web show, but his name, I'm so terrible with names. It's ridiculous. Brian K. Moore. That's who I was trying to remember. Brian K. Moore. Brian K. Morris is there with his wife, Cookie, and they stopped in and said hi. And you see, I'd helped put up a bunch of decorations, and then we ran out of a certain decoration that we were fencing off the grill with. And so they ran down to the Spirit Halloween store to get some more of that Halloween fencing. And when they came back with it, it looked similar, but it wasn't. So we had to drill more holes in the wood that was holding the fencing up. But nobody brought any drill bits, so I had to drive all the way back up to Ringgold, grab my drill bits, drive all the way back down there, measure everything, drill holes, and we still don't have it. We bought all the fencing Spirit Halloween store had, and we still didn't have enough. So. Oh well. I see. We moved all the food around. We got it all in the freezers and got the beer keg in the cooler. We have not hooked up the beer keg yet. Apparently, we're not allowed to do that till tomorrow, but I'm not sure. But everything looks up and running, ready to go for food and everything. They were still doing some of the decorations for the tables and the dance floor when I left. Let's see. We had to modify some of the hangers for the signs that we hung up. And need to send you a link. Let me see here. I did forget to do that, didn't I? Let's see if I'll find the Facebook here. I'm going to Facebook message it to you, Joe. I don't want to put it in the group chat because you never know what kind of riffraffs are paying attention to that sort of thing. All right. Let me see. Where was I? Oh. Let's see. Apparently we had a small crisis with the bar down there at Halicon. Is we didn't have enough margarita mix. Who'd have thunk it? Middle of October, everybody wants margaritas. So guess who had to go down to Ingles and buy all their margarita mix? Get margaritas, salt, lime. Oh, if you are packing out to go to Halicon, bring your favorite beer mug. That's all I'm going to say. If you want beer. If you want coffee, bring your favorite coffee mug. There is a minor shortage of cups. Apparently, it's hard to find cups this time of year for some strange reason. Probably because of Labor Day. And boy, I was trying to find some news story to talk to y'all about, but everything's Hamas and Israel. And let's see. We need some good sci-fi news. Do we have any sci-fi news? Oh, yeah, there was some sci-fi news earlier. Let me see if I can find it again here. Apparently, they're going to redo. They're bringing out a new television reboot. Well, I don't know if it's a reboot, but they're going to fire it up again of Battlestar Galactica. It's going to be the same series that they had about 10 years ago, but with some new storyline. I'm not sure what's going on with it. Let's see. How's it? Oh, it's kind of funny. Apparently, the new Lower Decks season is going to be featuring Lower Decks. Somebody that watches that on a regular basis is going to have to explain that to me. See, NASA's a new moon rover. Let's see here. Oops. Luke Skywalker. Let me see. See. Disney Plus is going to be raising their rates. Apparently, there is a huge outcry for everybody to quit Disney Plus. Yeah, I kind of figured Disney was going to screw that up too. Apparently, they can't be happy with $100 billion. They got to have $200 billion. So, Let's see here. Oh, there he is.
Howdy.
Howdy. About time you woke up.
I was actually laying in bed. I was just stretching out, and I saw the notification. I'm like, oh, I'll watch while I'm laying here. Oh.
Oh, yeah. Kiri, I'm sorry. I did not see your post there. I'm just now getting back to the post here. Kiri, I'm going to send you a link to get you on the show. Let's see here. Do that. Clean. Oh, there's that. Let's see. I got to go. I can't remember. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if I've got Kiri on my Facebook friends. Apparently I do. Sent you a link, Kiri. Oh, there's a bunch of people down there. Brian K. Morris is already down there. Cookie. Dan's down there. Chris, of course, down there. We got most of it pretty well set up. All the heavy stuff. It's just a bunch of decorations now. So nice. I think. Did you have anything to do with that new signage?
The overhead sign on the interstate, that is actually in Illinois.
Oh, no. We have new wooden signs for HalloCon.
Oh, no.
Oh, you didn't have anything with that? Okay. I wonder where you got that. Because that kind of looked like your handiwork. Except it was painted.
Oh, yeah. No.
It was wood cut and burnt and painted.
Okay.
So it looked really sharp. I'll try and get you some pictures of it here soon. I meant to ask Joe while I was there working. I had to drill holes in them to hang them up. About half of them had holes, half of them didn't. And I was like, I meant to ask Joe if you had made those for him. And
no, not me.
Oh.
I wouldn't have, up until recently, I probably wouldn't have really had the time to do it. And get them shipped down to Georgia.
I'm not sure which I haven't done this run the show in a while, so I'm not sure which pages he's broadcasting to. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a YouTube.
So I found it on I think it was the HalloCon Facebook or Stupid O'Clock Facebook.
I tried to get all the HalloCon ones and the Stupid O'Clock ones, and he's got a bunch that I'm not. Dan's affiliate site is up there. I didn't know if Dan wanted me to put that on there or
not. So right now on YouTube, it looks like you are broadcasting to the Stupid O'Clock.
Oh, good. So what have I got? I've got what is that one? Turn it. Let's see. Oh, that's the HalloCon. I got a HalloCon YouTube. I've got a Stupid O'Clock YouTube and the Twitch, which I'm not terribly familiar with. But, and then I got 4 Facebook. I got 7 total. Seems like I'm missing one, and I can't figure out which one it is. Unless it was one of Joe's personals.
It might have been.
Which is a possibility.
Yeah, because I only ever get notifications for Stupid O'Clock YouTube and Stupid O'Clock Facebook.
So I worked hard down there. I was moving all sorts. We had to move a bunch of chairs around, helping vendors move in. Then I see, had to help with Tyler. We had to get the grill trailer set up, move that around. Excuse me. I had to get the fence around the grill trailer so nobody'd mess with it. And we had that problem last year. Drunk people just come walking, hey, make me a burger.
Mm.
But it cost $75. And
Yeah, I spent most of the night down at the park because we have our Halloween event at the park this weekend. So until I'm off the parks board, I'll never be able to make it to Holocon. Because I am the parks board president, so I kind of have to be there.
yeah. I had to, like I said, we bought that new Halloween fencing to go around. We had the old stuff, but we ran out. So they ran down Spirit Store, bought whatever they had left. And it turns out, instead of it being 4 pegs that hold it in the ground, this one has 6. So we had to go in, and they're not in the same position. So we had to drill new holes for all this stuff. And so I had to run back up to Ringgold, get a big enough drill bit and a drill. And then I stopped at the grocery store, and they had some stuff they needed for the bar. So I stopped and got that. Went to get back on the interstate, head down to the convention. Just as I get up to the intersection to get on the interstate, 75 head south, it's a parking lot.
Oh, jeez.
It wasn't when I got off the interstate 15 minutes earlier, but it's a parking lot now.
All it takes is for someone to sneeze wrong, and it all goes to hell.
So I did a U-turn, went down Old 41 and got on Highway 2 in Georgia, which goes through Ringgold Gap, Tunnel Hill, Varnell. And I wound up getting back on the interstate down at the Varnell intersection. And no, I mean, you could tell it had thinned out, but it was moving fine. It's kind of funny though. Oh, it's kind of nice. Driving down, there's a big semi truck. He's got a HIMARS system, a National Guard HIMARS system on the back of it.
Ooh.
And I'm like, ooh, and it's got the rocket insert in it too. It's ready. It's a training canister, but it's got the canister in it. It's kind of like, woo.
Nice.
Oh, it's just fun to drive by artillery like that. I kept looking at it. I'm trying to figure out. I know you could. It's got the 6. It's got the 6 rockets in the rocket pod. I know you can pull out the rocket pod and put one of the ATACMS tactical missiles in it, which Ukraine just recently got that and introduced it to the Russians by wiping on the airfield. It's kind of. But I have never ever seen the missile. It's that expensive. You never see the damn thing. The rockets, I've seen them shoot the rockets. I've never even seen the missile insert other than in pictures on the internet and stuff. And see, I'm trying to. What the hell are those rockets called? The HIMARS. I guess it's just HIMARS rocket. I don't know. It's the same rocket pod that was in the old MLRS.
Okay.
But the MLRS was a tracked vehicle, sort of based on Bradley, sort of. And it had 2 of those 6-shot rocket pods, so it carried 12 of them.
Ooh.
And that was the one that, with the steel ring, the cluster munition, could cover a full grid square, 1,000 meters by 1,000 meters.
Oh.
And just kill everything in the grid square. Or if it didn't kill it, it was going to make it wish it died.
Right. It's going to make it wish it was closer to that blast radius.
And the bad thing is, it's not a big blast radius. You're talking about something about the size of a racquetball. But one rocket holds 677 of them.
Right. Yeah.
It's a pretty big rocket too. It's about a foot across, almost.
Yeah.
About yay big around. So.
That's one of those rockets where it's not, this rocket has your name on it. It just says, "To whom this may concern."
Yeah. But it turns out they've actually got guided versions of it.
Really?
which it's like a guided rocket. A guided rocket, isn't that a missile?
That
Isn't
be
that the
my
definition
assumption.
of a missile is a guided rocket?
Yeah, that's
Um,
kind of what I always thought.
oh, who is Ziggy? I do not
I
know.
do not recognize Ziggy.
Yeah, I get people all the time whenever we're doing this show that they just jump on and say, "Link, send me a link." I don't know who you are.
Mhm.
And the bad thing is, Joe knows all these people. I don't. So, Ziggy, if you know Joe, I'm sorry, but I'm not letting you on the show. And if you don't know Joe, well, Joe knows. Um,
And not this Joe,
yeah,
different Joe.
not that Joe.
Yep.
The Joe who's working hard at a Econo Lodge down in Dalton, Georgia. Let me see. I mean no harm. And that's what the aliens always say before they blow up Washington D.C.
That's what they always
And-
say before they don't put the lube on the probe.
Okay, have you heard about that one? That they sent that probe to the comet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they got it back, and it's got 37 screws they're holding the lid on.
Hmm.
They can't get 2 of them off.
Really?
Yes. Apparently, they're in some sort of clean processing room for processing the satellite,
Yeah.
and they don't have tools in there authorized to get this thing. They have the Allen wrenches for getting the screws out, but they don't have anything for a stuck screw.
So my question was did the person who built it was their last day that Friday, and they decided, you know what, these last 2 screws need a little bit of Loctite.
Okay, my guess is, and that's just my guess, the engineer that I am, thing re-entered the Earth's atmosphere. Okay, that cover has been heat warped.
Right.
Would be my guess.
Yeah.
All they got to do is put the other 35 screws back in, tighten them down pretty good, not terrible, just pretty good. Work on the 2 screws that are stuck, which once they put all the screws back in, those 2 screws will probably unstick somewhat. And then they can, it's just like, you know, how sometimes you go to pull your tire off your car, and there's that one lug nut that just doesn't want to come loose. But if you put the lug nuts back in and tighten them down somewhat, then it'll come off.
Yeah. Yeah, like the tire tilts just enough to where it goes, no.
Let me see. Let's see. He makes rubber weapons. Oh, wait a minute. Make rubber weapons for on screen. Oh, well, hey, there's.
Ring Zach?
Yeah, I'm going to send Zach a link. Let's see. Oh, okay, copy that. Zach, I'm going to send it to your Discord. If I can find Discord. I was out in the sunshine all day today, and my eyes are killing me. It's one of the problems with working in the sunshine these days without not a pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, we were.
I don't know if you can see it. I got a little sun today too.
Yeah, I was gonna say your face is redder than usual, so I kind of figured that wasn't the lighting all the lighting this time.
No, not all. You know, I've noticed. You know why my face looks so red? Something to do with the camera on this computer, because I'm wearing a blue shirt. If I put on a red shirt, I get killed in Star Trek.
Yeah. Not necessarily. Scotty survived.
Sort of.
Well, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, he did get trapped in a transporter for what, 50 years or something.
Yeah, but that was his own doing.
Still, I mean, 50 years. That's the longest he's ever gone without drinking scotch. Think about it.
Mm-hmm. But was it really 50 years for him, or just a few seconds?
I've always wondered that, because there was a Next Generation episode where Barclay got caught in the transporter
Mm-hmm.
and could see creatures moving around inside the transporter beam. And it freaked him out.
Yeah.
And it turns out there's something about this planet's atmosphere. They went in to try and rescue this team that had disappeared. They couldn't find them. Couldn't find bodies or nothing. Turns out they'd had an accident with the transporter. The planet's energy had sustained their patterns in the atmosphere. And what he was seeing was some sort of weird after image of these people's patterns stuck in the transport in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So he winds up, he's sitting here and he's staring at this creature and he can't figure out what it is. So he says, okay, nobody believes me that I see this. So I got to do something about it. He grabbed it inside the transport beam. And when they transported him back in, he had one of the missing crew members in his arms when they pulled him back in. So it was, yeah. So he told everybody. Well, he thought he had transporter psychosis, which was something, and he really thought he was cracking up. And he managed to con Chief O'Brien into letting him perform his experiment eventually. And the chief called him on it. Says, that's not how we test this sort of thing. He says, listen, I got to know if I'm going crazy or not. Okay, please help me do this.
Yeah.
It's like, stand by for transport. That was a good episode. I always like the Barclay episodes. When I was a kid, Star Trek was all phasers and photon torpedoes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Ziggy. It's not my show. It's Joe McKeel's show. And I'm not this close to HalloCon. I'm not taking any chances with people coming on the show and, posting pics of their sexual organs and things like that. So, happened before. Which wouldn't have been so bad, except it was a really tiny sexual organ. Yeah, it's pathetic, really. It's bad enough you don't get monetized, but when you can't get monetized because of a pecker that's that small, okay, that's just that's Now Ron Jeremy shows up looking like a hedgehog. Well, there you go. Home. What was the home? What was his name? The famous porn star, something Holmes. Darn, I can't believe I can't remember that guy's name. He was like super famous.
No, I'm gonna look it up. It's not the worst Google search I've ever done. John Holmes.
John Holmes. There were some famous ones back in the day. It's back when there wasn't that much porn. Of course, now you got the internet. Like, half of Hollywood are porn stars now. So
yeah,
and most of the Weather Channel.
He ranks among the most prolific adult film performers with documented credits for at least 573 films.
That's a lot of work, I guess.
Born August 8th, 1944, died March 13th, 1988. Had 2 wives. One from 1965 to 1983 and one from 87 to 88.
Did he die of AIDS?
Yes, he did.
Okay, that's what it seems like I remembered that. That was
And he was 6'2".
yes, big guy. Could have played football. He was that big, Yes. Maybe he did play football. I'm not sure. Seems like he had a military career too. Vietnam, I think, but I might be wrong about that.
Let's see.
There was some argument about him and Jimi Hendrix being buddies. Yes, we're bored.
Okay, early life. There we go. What we got here?
Yeah, they usually have a paragraph just for military service or something like that.
Well, he was born in the small rural town of Asheville, Ohio, about 25 miles south of Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
Youngest of 4 children. Holmes left his home at the age of 16 and enlisted in the U.S. Army.
Seems like I remember reading that somewhere.
Spent most of the 3 years of his military service in West Germany in the Signal Corps. Upon his honorable discharge in 1963, Holmes moved to Los Angeles, where he worked in a variety of jobs, including selling goods door to door.
Ding dong.
Haven't seen any of the bots come in on Twitch in a while.
I just, it's like we get bots all the damn time. Of course, we usually get rid of them.
John Holmes was to the adult film industry as Elvis Presley was to rock and roll.
Yes. He was the king. And just he played with a different instrument.
There's something interesting. By 1978, Holmes was alleged to be earning as much as $3,000 per day.
Okay, now, you remember back in the 70s? That was a car.
Yeah. He was earning enough, allegedly earning enough per day to just walk into a dealership, go, and just whip it out, and here you
Pun
go.
intended.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, yay, more rain coming.
Are y'all getting rain?
Yeah, we've been getting rain off and on all day, which was making it interesting trying to run all the power cords to all the animatronics.
We haven't had a decent rain in almost 2 months now. I think in 2 months we've had less than half an inch of rain total.
Damn.
We are in serious drought conditions down here. And I'm pretty sure that if people start putting candles in their pumpkins on Halloween, this whole state's going to burst into flames.
Yeah, we managed to get all the electrical ran today. Somehow, we managed to get it all ran today. I have an electrician coming out tomorrow to finish redoing a bunch of the outlets around the park, because most of those, the GFI outlets, just gave up the ghost.
Let me see if I can do this real quick. Do that. I'm answering a question for Alec. That is Gene Wilder playing Dr. Frankenstein in Young Frankenstein. I figured I'd get in the Halloween spirit.
Surprised Zach and Kiri haven't showed up yet.
Me too. I want to thank all of you, including Ziggy. Thank you for showing up on the show. Cold Mask, and what was the other name? I could not.
Orpal.
I don't see that. Oh wait, I didn't go down far enough. Let's see, Orpal. I do not know who any of these folks are, but welcome to the show. This is Joe's show, not Joe, not that Joe, the other Joe. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, he is down at the hotel setting up the HowlCon fantasy and horror convention. And I was down there earlier helping him set up, and I had to come home, get some sleep sometime tonight. I'm not getting a hotel room for this convention. It's only 12 miles down the road, 16 miles down the road. I've gotten a hotel room there before, and I couldn't sleep with it. I'd rather come home and sleep in my own bed.
Yeah.
Especially because that hotel is closer to I-75 than my house. I'm not far from I-75, but it's literally, you hear trucks all night if you're in the front of the hotel. And there's an ambulance company just down the road from the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I heard ambulances all weekend getting dispatched out of that place. Oh. That's my buddy Gene Wilder.
Black beard, black suit.
Black beard, black suit, fire axe. What?
I'm looking at a screen. There's nothing in the background there.
Which Santa? You have to be specific. Someone's always behind me.
As long as it's not Joe Dog.
Oh. I went downstairs, had the windows open in the house. I know. Getting some fresh air in the house. Came out of the bedroom, and there is a wren flying around in my bedroom. How the hell did a wren get in the house? Turns out there's a hole in one of the screens in our windows.
Oh no.
It has flown in. So I had to open all the windows, and I had to lift up all the screens and close doors and closets and shoo a bird out. And I actually owe that bird a debt of gratitude because he hit my ceiling fan.
Dusted it for you?
Oh, there's dust everywhere. My keyboard was covered, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I did need to clean that ceiling fan. So, that thing, I think I had that thing running for almost 14 months solid.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I just didn't even turn it off. It just,
Yeah.
It's easier to sleep. And I think it helps keep the computer cooler, just moving the air around inside that room a little bit more. So.
Oh.
Joe's Peter Griffin. Not quite. Yeah. Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I can't do it. I'm not just.
I'm too tired after being at the park every day this week. It's been a slow setup process. Trying to find all the parts to the animatronics again, getting put together partially, enough to where they'll work, plugging them in, seeing which ones need minor repairs.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yes.
If you're Peter Griffin, can I be Quagmire? Giggity.
Yeah, but who's gonna be Cleveland out of our group?
Ooh, that's a good question because we don't really. I guess Dan would have to. It's the closest thing we got to Cleveland. I don't know, Peter. Let's see. Question is, whose kid gets to be Stewie?
I don't have any kids, so
Carrie gets to be Stewie.
There you go.
Guys, I will kill you. No, that's.
Does that mean that Dawn is Meg?
Ooh.
No, she'd be Joe Swanson's wife.
See, that's a good question. Well, I think about that one.
Yeah.
Of course, Joe does have dogs, so that's so
Yeah.
we may actually have a. What's the dog's name? Brian. Brian. Yeah, I always have. It's funny. I can remember the most difficult names to pronounce without batting an eyelash. But give me a simple name to remember. It's.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, I get to be in charge of running our snack shack this weekend.
A hot glue gun? A grease gun? Water gun? A stapler? No, I think a stapler would be louder than that.
One of the assault guns. The ones that you load with like the rock salt to shoot at the flies and stuff.
Oh, those things are actually kind of loud. It's almost like a BB gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've got one of those. They are fairly effective, but you got to be careful about shooting them close up because it will splatter the fly all over the damn place. It is literally like shooting him with a little shotgun.
It sounds like you're speaking from experience, John.
Let's see, what was it? We have these old plastic deck chairs. We had one of them. I shot one on the handle of this deck chair. You know how the plastic fades over time and sunlight and everything like that?
Yeah.
It cleaned the plastic.
Oh.
It left a little shotgun blast mark in the plastic. where it had new plastic. It was, blew the oxidation off of it. I have a pet pig, and I've got this big glass Pyrex bowl, like a salad bowl, that I feed him with because it's shallow and fairly tough. But it attracts flies from all the slop and leftovers and everything we put in there for the pigs. So if you want to take that assault gun out and shoot flies, that's a good target-rich environment. The only problem was if you shoot the salt into the bowl, it does a parabolic ricochet and comes right back in your eye.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
You got to be careful about that one.
So wear safety glasses. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's okay. With good shooting tip there. Just to see what it would do, I shot a dry leaf once.
That had to have disintegrated.
It's fairly impressive what it will do to a leaf.
Oh, I kind of want one of those.
We're just curious to see what it was actually doing. So I shot an apple once, and it actually left a pretty nasty hole on the side of the apple.
Really?
Yes. I wouldn't have thought that either. It's one heck of a way to salt your steak while it's on the grill, though. So they need to come up with one like that that'll shoot steak seasoning. Steak attack. Would you like some more seasoning for today?
Oh, just for kicks, I wanted to see how much they cost on Amazon. And you can get the Bug Assault Yellow 3.0 for $49.95.
That's what I've got. I got mine at Ace Hardware. Yeah.
And they also make a rear sight and laser upgrade kit that fits that for another $17.50.
The maximum range on the damn thing is 3 feet. You really don't need a laser sight.
Yeah, but there's still people buying it.
Yeah, I know. But they got that one, the newer one. I can't remember which one it is. The gray one. That's supposed to be a little bit more powerful.
They have one that looks like a revolver.
Ooh, not seen that one.
Let me pull this up here. Okay, let's see. Present, share screen. There we go. Hopefully we don't get in trouble for showing this.
No, we shouldn't. No. Ooh.
Takes a little CO2 cartridges.
It is CO2 powered. That takes all the fun out of it.
It's got the little.
It's got like revolvers. Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
I've never seen that one until now.
Yeah, that one is $125. You got the Salt Wars Freedom Edition. The Real Tree Camo. Got an Orange Crush.
Now, the little fly swatter, did you see the Black & Decker thing?
Yeah.
It looks like tennis racket. I've always wanted to try one of those.
They're fun. This one's got a tighter weave and almost looks like it has a...
It's dual-sided.
It's dual, yeah. Yeah, I've swatted bees with those. And other bugs, and occasionally you'll get one that gets caught in between the lattice work, and as long as you're still holding the button, the body's still sitting there going.
I'd be afraid I'd hit a hummingbird or something. Because I did that once. I was out in the backyard working on something, and this bee kept bothering me. I kept swatting it away all of a sudden it got right up in my ear, and it turns out I turned around and it wasn't a bee.
Oh, it was a hummingbird.
Hummingbird. I smacked the shit out of him and didn't even realize it until I saw him later. It stunned him for a few seconds, but eventually he got his bearings and flew off.
They make a holster for it.
Why would you need a holster for it? Are you gonna go backpacking with a bug assault?
Right.
Not that doesn't have its own merit. Wait! I want the garden gnome. Go back.
This guy.
There you go. Yeah, I want one of those. I got to get one of those for the garden.
I might have to order one of those for my coworker. $12.95. Oh, that's tempting. I might have to order one.
How tall is it?
Let's see, 12-inch.
Oh, okay.
A friend of mine. They even got the one where he's squatting down.
Ooh, Tactonome.
Yep. One of my coworkers, many years ago, went on a spree of stealing lawn gnomes. And he was pretty much any lawn gnome in Porter County was not safe. And there was an area off of State Road 49 that the cops would like. Then the cops kind of sit there every once in a while. There was this kind of field. There was some woods and then an kind of grassy area. And he'd go back to that grassy area and stash them there. And it wasn't like he was just dumping them there. He was setting them up in poses, had them like circled around like they were trying to summon something. And his ultimate goal, and had people not backed out at the last minute, he would have pulled it off, was to get Howie the cow, which is a big cow statue in front of Kelsey's Steakhouse. And he was going to take that, put it in that open grass area, and rearrange the gnomes to make it look like they were all praising the cow. Nice.
Do you know Fritz from LibertyCon?
No.
Okay. That's Fritz with his.
Yeah, I need to make it down for LibertyCon, some of these other cons.
Hey, there's the con this weekend.
Yeah. I was looking at my work schedule and everything, and I was supposed to be done with the project I'm on by now. So I was like, man, I could probably take a long weekend, go down to HoloCon, and my wife goes, you do realize it's the same weekend as our haunted event at the park? I'm like, oh, fuck. So one of the years they may just have to do without me being there and me come down to HoloCon. Because right now there's only one convention I go to, and it's up here in Northwest Indiana. It's a small gaming convention that Nick Tockert and his wife go to, and we share a booth with them. called Region Con. But I need to go some of the other cons. It's just hard in the summertime because of my work schedule. Trying to get additional days off when you got contractors working 6/12s is kind of a pain.
Oh, let me see here. Well, of course, Dan is at the convention already, so he couldn't be on the show. He's going to be in the dealer's room. He's going to have tables set up selling books and stuff like that. Let's see. Brian K. Morris is down there with the Arthur's. Oh, yeah, the Arthur's Corner. And let's see.
Carl and Donna will be there with their books and doing a Munsey panel.
I didn't see Carl yet.
I thought they were supposed to leave to head down there today. I think the way it was kind of sounding was like they were going to drive part way today, probably get a hotel, and then drive the rest of the way.
Yes. Yeah, it's a fairly long drive from Indiana. Yeah. That's an all-day drive, Indiana to North Georgia.
Oh, they're in.
Had to go to a wedding right outside Fort Wayne. So I got to drive through most of Indiana too. Oh, there's Dan. Oh, do I need to? I guess I. Wait, did I not? No, I did not. I will send that to. Let me see. I did not put the link in there on the regular page. I don't know why I didn't. I didn't think about it.
Danville to Dalton, Georgia is 7 hours and 39 minutes. Really? That's the fastest route? That can't be the fastest route.
Odd. Huh.
I don't see how taking 41 from midway through Indiana all the way down to 24 is the fastest route. Unless there's that much construction on 165.
I could have sworn I had Dan as a Facebook friend.
Yeah, because what is it from where I live to Dalton?
Aha. I see what my problem is now.
Oh, that's only a 9-hour drive for me.
Every time I check on the Stupid O'Clock page, it changes my it changes me over to the Stupid O'Clock page administrator. Let me see here. There we go. All right. So I was trying to apparently Stupid O'Clock's page is not friends with Dan Hollyfield.
Ah.
Yes. So, oh, you're not his friend. So I changed me to John Scarborough, and it says, oh, now you're friends.
Why did it post that twice?
I have no clue.
That's weird.
Maybe
because you're going to 2 different YouTube channels. That's why.
Well, no.
No, yeah, I only saw the one. Unless there's one that I'm not following, which is
Maybe you just
entirely
gotta.
possible.
Maybe your mouse button's going.
Oh no, Holocon Online is now showing up as streaming also.
Oh,
So you got Stupid O'Clock and the Holocon Online YouTube pages.
oh. So you are on a YouTube and you posted and it went to both of the YouTubes.
No, so for guests, StreamYard has added the ability for the guests to connect their YouTube account to be able to type in comments. Just like I could actually go up here and have it streamed to the Independent Creator Directory YouTube channel. Oh, which I'm actually coming up on 1 year of having that site. It was about this time last year that I started toying around with the idea of creating that site.
That's better. Hard to get comfortable with the belt on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to get more wood burnings done to be able to sell. Got a ton of ornaments actually done up. Need to do some more. Actually, how do I not have more of that one? Huh. I have to do more of that one. Did a couple cutting boards recently, and some coasters. Although I'm not overly impressed with how the coasters turned out. I may just keep those for myself. But I made a nice little cutting board that has the different measurements. As a decorative piece. Let's see. Dan says not much going on at con. Joe Dog setting up lights on the dance floor. We need video of Joe Dog dancing.
Nah. Joe Dog tries to dance. People call paramedics. He's having a seizure.
Yeah, we need it for blackmail. I mean, research purposes. Oh, thank you, Dan. I want to do more of these cutting boards, but I need a bigger desk to do them on.
Make you a bigger desk.
Well, eventually, when I have the time, which means I'm going to have to do it over the winter, and I'm going to hate life trying to do this over the winter. I'm going to clean out my mother's old bedroom and convert that into a home office, so that I'm not down here in the basement anymore. Oh. Why does technology hate you so much, Nick?
Swords. Yeah, that's got to be it. He's totally into swords, and technology hates him because of it. Now, if he had a lightsaber,
I think even that would malfunction, to be honest. He'd go to light it up and somehow it'd come out the bottom. And people think he's joking when he says that technology just will randomly go boink around him. I have witnessed it firsthand. Yeah, this was the other one I did. Chop it like it's hot, and don't flip out. But I want to get her old bed out of there, get a bigger desk set up. I'll probably move my Mac up there. I'll probably leave the gaming PC down here because it stays cooler down here, especially in the summer. But it'll give me a bigger area to work with, and I could technically set up 2 all desks up there to give myself even more room.
I wonder if I'm surprised Dawn's not. Of course, I guess Dawn didn't know we were having a show tonight. So.
Yeah. Well, and she's traveling with Carl and Donna.
Oh, so they're on the road already.
Yeah. Yeah. The way I thought they said they were taking off today and then getting there tomorrow. So I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but and you're still working on making your PC work.
So, I told you I didn't want to go down I-75 because of the traffic jam.
Mm-hmm.
So I went down 41 and Highway 2. Went through the Ringgold Gap battlefield area. And drove by the old stone church. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about the old stone church down there, this is where Dolly Parton and her husband got married.
Okay.
And supposedly there's a big deal every year. They come back and renew their wedding vows. I have never seen it happen. Or, of course, I live a good bit north of that. But
yeah.
I don't know if that's a myth or not. I never see the police like cordon off the area or anything like that. Or helicopters bringing in Dolly Parton and her husband or anything of that nature. So.
Yeah, you would think that'd be kind of a major gathering. So, and Nick, if you're still having PC issues in the morning, text me. I will be on the job site, but I can attempt to run never mind the furthermore if you need me to. There just may be a lot of interruptions with me having to deal with the contractor. Oh, okay. They were stopping for a Munzie event on the way today. Okay. Oh, good. Maybe they'll get some of the people from the Munzie event to show up to Holocon and come to the panel also.
Ooh.
How is it that I was the only one that responded to getting a link and showing up?
I was surprised you responded so quickly. Heck, you were on it for I started broadcasting.
What was that?
One of your brethren driving a large truck through my neighborhood in the middle of the damn night.
Yeah, I was laying in bed and it popped up,
Our neighborhood.
The clock is now live. I'm like, okay, I'll click on that and watch this for a little bit.
Our neighborhood is along a ridge,
mm-hmm.
and to get into the neighborhood, you have to come up a draw and up a hill. Okay. Come over the spur, down another draw, and there's another spur at the end of the neighborhood. So our neighborhood looks like kind of like the letter P, capital P. There's one entrance, but it goes around, comes back down, and then turns back toward the entrance, and you make a right turn to get back out. It looks like a roller coaster. Literally, if you look at an aerial view, our cul-de-sac neighborhood looks like a roller coaster. It's kind of neat, though. I remember when the tornado went through, I was up on the roof getting rid of some tree branches and stuff. We got lucky; we didn't take a lot of damage to our house, or so we thought. But I was up there, and I looked out over. I was up on the roof looking out over this neighborhood. It was like a sea of blue tarps. Just everybody had a tarp. Yeah, everybody had a tarp up there. It was dangerous to walk around too, because you had roof shingles. They come off the roof with the nails sticking up everywhere.
Ooh,
yeah, that was fun. Dog I kept going, and the dogs kept finding them and bringing them back in the house. Oh, look what I found! Idiot, that's got a nail in it.
Bite down on one. Why is this one spicy?
Then we have a sycamore tree in the backyard, and the top 20 feet of it broke off.
Ooh.
Rolled right over the top of the house. Landed on the other end of the house in the yard with the trunk facing up, all the leaves down. And the tip of the trunk was right on the edge of the eave of our roof with a big bay window underneath it.
Oh.
So.
Oh, you got lucky.
Mashed our fence, and our grill got. Our neighbor lost 3 oak trees that fell in our yard, smashed our grill and some other stuff. We had a swing, things like that. And one of our trees got topped, fell into the other neighbor's yard. And then he had 3 trees that got topped and fell in his yard. Tore all our peach trees out of the ground. This was the first year they'd started making peaches. The plum trees and the peach trees killed them. Just didn't break them or anything. Ripped them out of the ground. Sideways and just killed them.
Yep.
And we went and bought a chainsaw and took all the limbs off of that tree trunk that was laying on the roof, and then cut the one limb, and it just pretty as you please fell right away from the house. I was so proud of myself. I don't use a chainsaw very. I know how to use a chainsaw. I just don't use one very much.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, we had a nasty storm come through last year and didn't produce a tornado. We had some straight line winds, but never produced a tornado. But there was one tree that fell technically just outside of our town limits. I mean, we're talking like 2 blocks outside of our town limits. It was technically an unincorporated Hobart.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just noticed Nick doesn't have anything to do right now. I'm going to send Nick a link.
Okay.
I just thought about it. I don't know if I've got Nick as a friend.
If not, let me know, and I can forward the link that you sent me.
Oh, I do. Okay. Double check.
But yeah, this one big, old tree toppled over. Not only took out the power line, but ripped up the water service line.
Oh,
so you had down electrical and spraying water.
One of our neighbors down the street, the tree got ripped out of the ground, pulled the gas line up.
Ooh.
Between the house and the main.
Yeah.
No way to turn it off. And you walk down by his house, you could smell it. It was
yeah.
solid. And everybody was down there trying to get that thing pinched off and clamping it down, vice grips and every other damn thing, shut it off. But I was trying to see if I had any screws that were big enough to plug the line. Couldn't find anything. Yes, I did not realize back then that a lot of the lines going into houses now are flexible tubing.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought gas lines were metal, and it's just what I grew up with.
Yeah.
Our new water, we busted a water line somewhere between the meter and the house. So they had to replace our water line coming into the house from the meter. They replaced it with flexible tubing. Looked like something you'd use in a fish aquarium, only bigger. But apparently, whatever this stuff is they replaced it with is it's tougher than metal, copper, PVC, or anything like that. And B, because it's flexible, it won't break if it freezes. So if you get a really bad cold snap and the ground freezes.
Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't have to worry about it then.
Only problem is the plumbers that came in and they had to cut through a driveway. Cut across the driveway. Dig through the yard, go under the house, look into it, and all that sort of stuff. I don't know what they did, but they did not put enough dirt back in that trench they dug. They didn't put enough concrete in the driveway. So we now have the opposite of a speed bump in our driveway. And I'm still putting topsoil in that trench that they put in our front yard.
They probably needed to compact it some. Or at least fill it with 53s and compact it.
There was the guy who was obviously the plumber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then his assistant, who I think he was in a hurry to get back to check in with his parole officer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, stuff like that. There's so many different ways that it could have been done and probably should have been done and didn't get done. Because something like that, I mean, even if you're putting the same dirt back in, it still needs to be compacted.
We pulled it. Everything right here in North Georgia is chert, which is that clay, rocky kind of.
Yeah, we got the same shit up here.
Yeah, and they didn't put any of the big chert rocks that they pulled up back in the trench, which makes sense because you don't want to put that stuff on top of flexible tubing,
right?
And compact it consequently.
Yeah. So
I've got a whole garden full of. I've got a tomato patch that's bordered with chert rocks. Keep me from mowing over my tomatoes.
Yeah, we've up here. You either get that clay dirt mixture or sandy soil.
You want to know how tired I am? I started this show at about 9:15.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before I started the show, I went downstairs into the kitchen, opened the fridge, grabbed a beer out of the fridge, came up here, started the show. All right.
You haven't taken a single drink of that beer, have you?
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Yep.
Seems I remember something about, according to FCC regulations, you're not allowed to drink alcohol during a broadcast. So that may be an old regulation, I don't know. But when I was growing up, you could not drink real alcohol in a broadcast. So every time you saw people drinking alcohol in a movie or television thing,
yeah,
It was fake.
Yeah.
And which
Like
makes me wonder,
if you
with
see
all these people,
someone chug a bottle of Jack Daniels, it was actually Coke
or iced tea, or
yeah.
yeah. And which makes me wonder, all these people on YouTube. I mean, they actually have YouTube channels. There's that one Irish girl that's trying American drinks.
Mhm.
Have you seen those?
Yeah, I've seen a few. I don't think I've seen her, but
That she's funny as hell because she's trying American liquor. And like, they got her to try Fireball one time. Oh my god! And it's burning my mouth. Don't they have cinnamon in Ireland? Come on. How do you explain the red hair?
and if you've had that, or if you've tried that, try Goldschlager.
Um, you ever heard of Ouzo?
Yes, but I can't think of what it's actually made out of.
It is a high alcohol licorice flavored liqueur.
Okay. Yep,
It
I've
has
heard of it, and I've said I will never drink it just for the simple fact it's
it,
licorice.
it's not too. Oh, I love licorice, so it's not too bad. But they serve it in a large shot glass. Okay. There's usually a coffee bean in the bottom of it, a whole coffee bean. And when they serve it as an aperitif after the meal, they bring it to the table in the shot glasses with the shot glasses on fire. It's got that much alcohol in it. Apparently, there's some tradition about you light it on fire to show that it's good ouzo and has the proper amount of alcohol. So, if it won't light on fire, it's crappy ouzo. So, or the waiter needs a new lighter, one or the other. I haven't had it in a while, but it's pretty good. Another one that'll kick your ass: apple corn.
Apple corn?
Apple corn. Well, that's the American translation. It's actually apple corn. It's
Okay.
German, and looks like apple juice, smells like apple juice, tastes like apple juice with a slight alcohol bite to it. It is another one of those liqueurs that is very highly alcohol content, but doesn't taste like it. So you can drink this stuff and it will hit you like a hammer. And you don't. It's like, it tastes like apple juice. You do not realize you're getting slammed until you go to stand up. Oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. Oh, I think I'm gonna stay here at the bar all night.
Yeah, my neighbor.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. My neighbor used to make what we called Hoosier Shine. He would take a bottle of Gem Clear. So you got 95% alcohol. And more or less, just privatized moonshine. But he'd take a bottle of Gem Clear and he would turn it into like the apple pie moonshines that you would see.
Oh.
Only he would also add a vanilla vodka to it. And it tasted like that slop that you'd have on the bottom of a plate from a warm piece of apple pie with some vanilla ice cream on top. Just that ooey goodness at the bottom of the plate. And you drink it, and you wouldn't taste the alcohol. It'd barely have a burn going down. And then you try to stand up. He also made a strawberry lemonade version that you take the little half-pint jars, take a few sips out of them, throw them in a freezer, and it turned it almost into like an Italian ice. Yeah, those were dangerous. Yeah, at one point he had 13 different flavors that we had made.
I think one of the most interesting ones I ever had was Dreamsicle Moonshine.
That was one of the flavors that we had made.
Yes.
And it tasted like a dreamsicle. You got that orange. You got the orange when you first took the shot, and then kind of on the back end, you'd get that cream flavor coming through. The one I should have had to make. I could probably make it myself. But we did a honey one that we didn't drink at the parties. That one was just made for medicinal purposes. Shake up the bottle real well, make sure it was all mixed up good. Put a shot of that in some hot tea. And if you got a scratchy throat or a cough, take a shot of that instead of NyQuil, and you slept pretty good that night. So I did look up the drinking during broadcasts. And there is, from what I'm finding, there is no actual rules from the FCC saying that you can't drink during any kind of broadcast, whether it's live or a commercial or a TV show. It's actually the TV networks that tend to make their own rules on.
I know, like, what was it? They banned cigarette advertisements on NASCARs, which is funny because it's sponsored by the Winston Cup. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Talk about a kick in the teeth.
Yeah. Which, I mean, in all actuality, the cup is named after your company. That in of itself is probably enough advertisement.
Sorry, my phone has forgotten everything.
That's not good.
Uh-oh.
Oop. They remembered something.
Yay! How did I screw that up the first time?
Oh.
Oh, Joe Bachman, I've arrived. For some reason, my phone lost connectivity. And there he goes. Let me see. No, I don't want to boot. No, not now. Well, here we go. Okay, finally. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Did you see my candy post?
Was it on the Stupid O'Clock Facebook page?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see here.
Unfortunately, it switched. That's another. I think that's how it lost connectivity. Is it switched me to the Stupid O'Clock page administrator?
So. That would do it.
I hate technology sometimes.
I don't see your.
I never got
one, but I like your toilet paper holder.
Oh, that's. Let me see if it got posted. I may have to go back in and see if it got posted here. I got my drunkard ones. No. Did I post that Stupid O'Clock? Stupid guy. Let Nope, just me and you. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I may have to repost the darn thing. Of course, it sometimes it takes a while to post stuff. So. Facebook is being updated. Try again later. Like a magic, not a smartphone. It's a fucking Magic 8-Ball. Outlook not clear. Damn you, Microsoft.
Oh.
Guess what time it is? Where's Don when you need her?
Right? Almost wonder if I should just throw up a not the last man standing one again.
I don't think Dan wouldn't mind, but I've got to get some sleep. So.
Yeah, I probably should. I do have to work in the morning and chase down a contractor and watch as he tests the reflectivity of the paint lines that they put down.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
They have a little device that once the lines are painted, we have to wait at least 15 days, but no more than 30 days to test the reflectivity. It gives a chance for all the glass beads that didn't get stuck into the paint to kind of disperse. And
See, now, I always thought, I always thought they were using some sort of vinyl padding that they would roll out on the road and then hit it with a heat gun and melt it to the road.
so there's several different types of paint that Indiana uses, and there's probably even more across the U.S. But mostly what we use here is either epoxy-based paint or thermoplastic. Thermo is a lot thicker. It smells to high heaven when they're putting it down because you're essentially melting a plastic. But they also do have a preformed one that they put in that they've been using on some contracts. There's a specific grooving machine that has to be used, and it's literally laid down in sections into those grooves.
Yeah, they use that on our new. They just recently redid the road right here at our I-75 intersection. They redid the bridge and redid the road for about 2 miles.
Mhm.
About a mile on your side of the bridge. A little bit more toward me, and not so much on the other side of the bridge. But, they did a really nice job on it, except they screwed a couple of things up that are really bad. I mean, just I cannot believe. You can tell they were Yankee contractors, okay, because they don't understand driving in the South. They blocked the northbound entrance to Food Line.
Okay.
They blocked it. Now you have to go down to the traffic light through the intersection, and they do not have a turn lane to get into the Food Lion Plaza, which is also in front of the Arby's, the Family Dollar, and a gas station.
Mm-hmm.
They created a traffic jam like something you'd expect to see in New York City. That's why I know it was flipping Yankees that came up with this brilliant damn idea. And then, where the tractor trailer rig has to get into the Food Line to make the deliveries, there's a sidewalk, and the entrance that the truck would have to come in, and then an exit that's going southbound. with a diamond, or not a diamond, a triangle in the intersection,
Oh.
and street signs on the sidewalk.
Hmm.
And you got these poor transfer trucks trying to get through that. Tractors with a tractor and trailer. The signs disappeared 3 times already,
Hmm.
just from the tractor trailers rolling over it. There's tread marks all over the pavement where they've tried to get their tractor trailers through there. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, didn't the people that built this damn thing, didn't it occur to them that it's a big rig that's going to be coming through this intersection? And
Hmm.
that's
If you can pull up my little shared screen here.
oh yeah. What are we sharing?
So this picture over here on the right, you can kind of see the beads spread out across there.
Mm-hmm.
So a few weeks ago, actually, on Scoop O'Clock, when I was out on the job site, we were grooving the lines. This one is,
Grooving.
but this one is. You can see how it's got a little dip here, and then they generally try and paint inside that groove.
Right.
Which reason why they do that is to help the longevity of the paint, so that
Keeps the tires off of it so much.
not the tires, but the plows in our area. So you got that little bit of just a little bit of a dip where the plow blade isn't scraping on that paint.
Right.
But when the paint machine goes through, the paint machine actually has 2 separate nozzles. The front one being your paint spraying in, the one about 2 feet behind it releasing the glass beads.
So it's kind of like sandblasting sand.
Almost. It's this is actually kind of a good representation. I wish I could blow that picture actually up, because they're very fine. They're very small beads. It almost feels like because NDOT's traffic department has barrels of these for their paint truck, and it feels like a very fine sand in your hands. But that's what gives you the ability to see the paint lines better at night. Or at least is supposed to. Oh, there we go. There's a good representation. You got the paint there, and then right behind it, you got the glass beads being sprayed on.
Why does that look like Ripley fighting the alien queen in the power lifter or power loader? Get away from her, you bitch. Okay.
Yeah, that's part of my fun job is just sitting there literally watching them paint lines. And then come out 2 weeks later to test the reflectivity. And if enough sections don't pass, they technically are supposed to come out and remove the paint, repaint it, put new glass beads down, and wait 2 weeks and test it again.
Oh. All right. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our family. I'm that damn old. Okay. So good night, Joe. And thanks for showing up the show. Yes, we are going to try and do another one of these on Saturday, I think. I will not swear to it. Joe has nothing planned, and Christy didn't have this one planned.
Yeah.
So, yes. I told him, yeah, I'm going home and get some sleep. He goes, are you gonna fire up the show for me? Yeah, think about it. Well, right. I knew I wasn't going to get home before 9 o'clock. So,
Yeah.
So, good night, everybody.
Good night, folks.
I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.
Did not